Hey everybody, welcome back to Plus Ultra Pitching. So we had a really great question in the comments about how you grip a fastball. And thank you so much for asking this question, because I realized that I went through the first 3 parts of this wrist snap series without actually teaching you how to properly grip a fastball. So let's go over that today. So when I grip a fastball, I like to have my 4 fingers along the C of the fastball, of the softball rather. So we have the C of the seams. You take your 4 fingers, put them along the C of that, the C of the seams. And then you want your thumb to, if possible, try to make it be across from like your middle finger. Now I have really long fingers, so it's easy for me to get my thumb to be across from my middle finger, but some pitchers need to have their thumb a little bit more in between their middle and their pointer fingers, just for comfort and depending on the size of your hand. So you definitely want a grip to be nice and comfortable. And what we want to do is we want to grip the ball with the pads of our fingers. So just that first knuckle for all of our fingers. And it kind of looks like the ball is deep in my hand, but it's actually not touching the palm of my hand at all. The only thing touching the ball from my hand are the pads of my fingers. So we want a nice relaxed grip with the pads of our fingers touching our 4 fingers, our pointer, middle, ring, and pinky finger along the C part of the softball seam. And then we want our thumb, if possible, across from our middle finger. When we snap the softball, the kind of spin that we are looking for, like I said, we want to end up having a forward and upward motion with our snap. And what we get with this grip is when we get this forward upward motion, you're getting all 4 of your fingers pushing and snapping from behind that ball to whip it towards the catcher, right? To snap it. So as you snap it off, that ball should have a nice, I guess this would be a forward spin. It wouldn't be backwards. You want this ball spinning along the C seams like so. A really great tool that I like to use a lot, and that I used a lot when I was learning how to pitch, is a striped softball. Now you can make this stripe with electrical tape, which is actually what I would recommend. If you just have any electrical tape or masking tape, you can draw on a black Sharpie with it, but I would recommend using tape. It's a little easier to get straight. I just drew I just drew with a Sharpie a black line along right down the middle part, or I tried. As you can see, my line is a little bit crooked, but try to make it go down the middle part of the C on every side of that softball. This is an amazing tool for fastballs, but also as we move on and start learning other pitches, you'll be able to use this this softball, the striped ball, to gauge your spins to make sure the pitches are spinning the way you want them to. So if you were to release this fastball, what you'd want to see is a nice straight perpendicular line to the ground. And you want to have a nice clear straight line when you pitch it. If the spin is all wonky, or if you notice that your ball is kind of more bulleting than spinning with the tape facing your catcher, then that tells you that you do not have all fingers behind the ball, right? So we want to make sure all fingers are behind. I'm going to try to demonstrate this. Like I said, I drew my stripe a little bit crooked, so it might not be a perfectly straight line, but when you snap it, you want to essentially see a nice straight line. If you don't have a catcher to snap to, whoops, that was not a great one. Here we go. If you don't have a catcher to snap to, you can just snap these to yourself. Bring it down around your belly button area where you'd normally let go of the pitch, or you'd release your wrist snap, and just pitch it up towards yourself. It'll give you a really good chance to practice that forward and upward wrist snap while also seeing and making sure that that ball is spinning just the way you want it to. So that was a lot of information. Just to recap, to grip a fastball, you're gonna hold on with the top pads of your fingers with your 4 fingers along the C seam, and your thumb we want to try to get your thumb right across from your middle finger. When you snap off the ball, you want all 4 fingers snapping from behind the ball so you get that nice forward spin towards your catcher. All right, I hope that answered your question. Thank you so much for putting that in the comments. And as always, Plus Ultra!